as we go. So let me open my Excel. Let me open my Excel. So here we have the Excel worksheet that we're going to work with for the purpose of today's class. It's going to be the basic, and I'm sure most of us, especially most of us in the class now, we are not new to Excel, so we're not going to spend so much time on this. And the same thing, just like I said, spreadsheet is also it works just like Excel too, except some small difference in their functions. There are some small differences in their functions that make them to be somehow different. For example, if you look at the interface here, you have home, insert, formula layout. In a Google Sheet, you will not see formula here, but it doesn't mean that formula does not work. You get it? The formula still work, equals to so and so and so, and you see it working in this thing. So let's quickly see how some things work here. So here I use this first page to do basic summation and calculating average. So which is to sum, we use equals to. That is how to start Excel function or formulas. Equals to sum, and you select the range you want to use. You want to sum together. You have 2, 3, 4, whatever. If there are 10, same thing you do. Close the bracket and hit enter. Or sometimes you can select your range. When you select your range, you click on auto sum here. When you click on auto sum, it's going to sum it for you automatically. And you see now we now have sum this. This is called auto sum. On the top right here, we have auto sum. And down here we have equals to, I select this and I press Alt equals to. Alt equals to. So Alt equals to also work like auto sum also. So you see that we have our summation ready immediately. So let's come back here and calculate some average. Equals to average. Equals to average. You click on average, select your data and close the bracket, hit enter. So the same thing like we did earlier, you can also use this place. If you come here, you can change this one from auto sum. We have average here. Click on average, you have your average here. But the alt equals to does not work with average. The alt equals to does not work with average. So either you use the function average or you use the formula tab here, formula bar here. You still have average here. Sorry. You still have average here under your recently used. You see average here or here, average under auto sum here. So that's how to calculate. These are just the basic way of calculating this. And the summation, to do subtraction, just type equals to, select the cell, press minus, and select the other cell. That's all. That's just the basic way of doing minuses here. And another thing here, under the basic Excel here, is about the format. You see that here we have green, we have this, we have this. So how do we do formatting in Excel? Select your data set, click on this. You want it to bold, click on bold. You want to put it in italics, put it on italics. You want to underline something, click on underline here. It underlines for you. See that we have underline on 170 now. Now, you want to give a color. You want to paint the background here. Use the color here. And you want to paint, you want to give the text itself color. Click on the text here. And you want to change the font type here from Calibri. Let's change it to Algerian or Arial Black. So you can change your text there, and you can change the sizes too. Look at this size now. Go up here. We want it to look bigger or smaller. When something is too bigger or too smaller, select this, and you see that the size has changed. Also, you can also do some alignment with this. You can do some alignment here. I'm clicking on this. You want it to be on the right side. Move to the right side. You want this one to be in the center. You put it in the center. And you want to add indent. You want to left, right, whatever are there. You want to add indent. You use this to add indent. I see it's moving. So which means that it will not affect what you have here. There's no space, void, just a format only. So, and finally, you want to create a table. What do we do? Select your data, press Ctrl T. The range where you want to change the table, press Ctrl T. And if your data has header, click my table as header. Let me click on this. Ctrl T. My table has header. Click OK. So it's going to it's going to use the first column as header, meet and amount. It's going to be header. Can you see them now? We have the header here. We have the header here. So it's not dependent on what you want to do with your table. And you can name your table here. Let's name this one table, meet table. Oh, there's no space. There should be no space in between name, meet underscore table, or you write it as one word, meet table. So when you call meet table anywhere, equals to meet table, you can see that it has selected this. I want to sum the amount from wherever I am. I can come here and click on amount. Can you see now? It has selected that. Then I can put my sum in front of it, open the bracket, and close the bracket. So this is just some of the things that I think we can learn from in the basic thing there. And like I said, table, when you create a table, you can fill in your table. You can also format as table here. Without using Ctrl T, you can come here and click OK. There's no header already. Have this, so it will give it header itself. You can change the name of the header and change it to serial number. Come here, type name. Here you type address. Here you have call phone, and so on and so forth. So then you come here, type number 1, number 2, number 3, as just like that. That's the way to create table and work with table. Now, let's quickly do some small calculation here, or mathematics, whatever here. So let's look at this. Here we want to talk about apportionment, how to apportion some things while working with Excel. In business, there is always reasons to apportion. There's always reason in most cases to apportion. For example, let's look at this. We have the fruit, the amount, and the quantity. Let's say somebody went to market to go and buy this, and he spent transportation cost of like 300. A transportation cost. How do you share the transportation cost on this? Are you going to just say, okay, divide by 4 equals to this divided by 4? No. Equals to, let me see, equals to this divided by 4. 4 product. So 7 naira will be added to each of them. No, that's not the way to do it. The best way to do it is what? To do the apportionment based on the value or the cost of the products. For example, here we have equals to, we bought an apple of 15 naira and we bought 10. Can it 50 times 10? That's 500. And so if you have a long list, you will not be able to be typing the formula every time. Just click on the first one, bring your cursor to the extreme right here, and double click or you drag it down. Either you double click or you drag it down. Then you can press on this comma here. Since it's money, it's about money, press on this comma so that it can look like a currency, 0.00, 0.50, point whatsoever. You see it there. Now, how do we apportion this? How do we apportion this now? to arrive at the cost, the direct cost price for this product. What do? We come to this place, we sum the total here, equals to sum this, close this, and we have 1,120, and we spend 300, which make the money to be what? 1,420 naira. So if we have to add 75 naira to every one of them, that means this orange will become 150 naira, and which will not make, how much are we going to sell it? But if you spread it based on their value, possibly the value will be able to absorb the direct cost of each of the product. Now, let's say we have this total to be 31120 now. How do we apportion each of them? So we use our mathematical function now, equals to 300 divided by this, which is the total, times the price of apple. Because if you want to work, so which means that we are going to spend 133 naira of the transactional cost will go into this. Since what we are learning is for business purpose, data entry, the data entry skill is actually for businesses. So there's no way you will not be encountering something like this while working on data or business data. So in this case, you see that we have 133 for this. Now, let's say you want to compute for the other one. You type equals to this divided by this, multiply by the cost. So which means that only 21 naira is going to be apportioned to this. But what happened? What happened when we have a long list? Are we going to be computing them one by one? No.
We
are going to fix it exactly. We are going to use what is called absolute reference. Exactly. Okay, I had you. I get you.
F4.
F4. Okay, I get you. Yeah, good. So yes, I get you. Now, when you have a long list and you want to copy this thing from top to down, let's say we bought like a 50 products. We will not be computing it one by one. What we do is we select the first, instead of typing this 300 here, what do? You can say equals to, we select this and we press F4 on our keyboard. F4. If F4 is not working on your keyboard, then you press function F4. There is a function, there is Fn on keyboards. So that Fn is function key. You press Fn and F4 together. It will put dollar in front of the column and in front of the row. That is called absolute reference. So you can say this now, times, divided by this, divided by this. Since this one also will not change, the location will not change, we press F4 again. Then we multiply it by this. So if you copy this one now, it's going to maintain the source of the formulas. I say the source of the formula is not changing. But if you just go ahead and just type like this, equals to this, divided by this, multiply by this. So you copy it down like this. Look at what will happen. Error. Click on this. It has changed from 300 to quantity. Come down again. It has changed from quantity to 10. As you are copying down, it's changing the position. But when you put it on F4, the position will remain fixed. The position will remain fixed and will not change location. If you like, copy it from here to the last row. It's going to maintain, it's going to keep this as C2 and the other one as D8. So it's going to make it fixed, just like that. Is that clear? Any question on that? Or I should do it again? Any question? Okay, so let me take that as so in this case now, so we can say okay, the total cost now will now be what? Equals to this plus this. So this is total cost now for each of these. Now to get per unit, to get the unit cost now, just equals to this divided by this. Quantity, sorry. So 53 naira. But if you have gone by just dividing it by just 300 naira by 4, and then we now divide it by 7, you can see that this one will go to 150, and per unit cost will go to almost like 50 naira of orange per orange. So from 20 naira to 50 naira, you can see that will be outrageous. Okay. Other way around. Sometimes um sometimes the computation is not done on price. Sometimes it can be on quantity too. It is possible that maybe on the weight rather. Let's say you order somebody to you order vehicle to deliver, let's say, planks or flour for bread. Let's say flour for bread, and the vehicle is coming with the flour, sugars, and the rest. So the weight and the sizes will come into play before the person decide I'm going to charge you so amount. This time around, it's not going to be on price on the price. The weight or the size will contribute to how you are going to apportion the cost. Let's say we have the same cost, like 300 naira. Let's say we have the same cost like 300 naira to bring in this product home. So this time around, we are not going to use the cost, since we are sure that this higher vehicle was actually higher because of the load. It's the load that we use that determine the price. So we are going to use what? Use the weight to arrive at this. So just like we did earlier, let's I don't okay, can I share this workbook with you? Let me share the workbook with you so that you can also practice and submit. As we are doing it together, we can do it together. Let me close it. Let me close this. Sorry. Save. Sorry. Documents. Okay. I've sent the Excel workbook into the group. So we can also open it so that we'll be doing it together. Let me reopen it. Okay, good. So how do we solve this kind of problem? We add the weight together. Add the weight together, out equals to so this is total weight, 95 naira. We're going to use that now to calculate the cost per one. This F4 divided by the total. Don't forget to put on F4 too. And multiply by what? Multiply by the weight. So The bigger they are, the more cost that goes to the product. So let's find out the cost now. The initial cost, this multiply by this, and we move from here down. Then we can add these two together. So this one we have here, you can always do Control Shift 1, or you click on this. Click on this instead of having that long tail prices. You can also do the same thing for this one. Press this, so you have it like this. Then we can add them together, equals to this plus the cost of transportation. So that's how apportionment works. Apportionment actually is not only for transportation, it can happen in anything. Apportionment happens to so many things while working. So even it can happen even to salary. When the boss say, okay, you have to deduct so number of days from somebody, what do? You calculate the number of days you work. You came to work for 20 days. Out of what? 35 days. Out of 20 days out of 35 days. Let's put it like this: 20 days out of 25 days. Let's ignore the weekends, the Saturday or the Sundays, and the salary for the guy is 45,000. What will be his take home? What will be his take home? It's 20 days out of 25 days, and his take home is supposed to be 45K. What will be his balance that he's taking home?
20 divided by 25 times 45.
Equals to 20 divided by 25 times 45,000. That's it. So apportionment can happen to so many things. These are just the few examples that came up just for now. Now there's something else that comes here. This rounding up, I didn't put anything here because I will use it here. I want to use on this apportionment here. Now how apportion? Sorry, apportion. Okay. Now, assuming you want to sell, let's say you are selling this. I want to sell the round figure. How do we? What function do we use to arrive at the round figure here? What do we use? What function do we use to arrive at the round figure? So we can use the function called we can use round, but round will not give you round will basically work round up, round down. Will be working on the last digit or whatever here. But let's say we want to work we're looking at rounding up to the nearest 100 or to the nearest 10 or whatsoever. So in that case, we're going to use this option called ceiling. So if you have a long list to be determining the price one by one, just since we have this, the ceiling has two functions. We have numbers, comma, significance. The significance can be 10. So to the nearest 10, and you close the bracket, enter. So we have 515, do what? 520. You can make the significance to be equals to this, equals to ceiling. Ceiling. The opposite of ceiling is floor. This, comma, 50. To the nearest 50 naira, because of change, it's going to give you 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, and the rest. And to round up to the nearest 100, we use what? Ceiling functions 2. Ceiling functions 2, comma, to the nearest 100. Since we are ceiling, because you can see that because we are rounding up 120, if you just use floor, if you use floor now, it will come down. But round will be rounding either up or down. When you use round, we have round up, round down. Also, we have this one to how many digits. You can see that it's talking about number of digits. If you put 0 here, So it has changed. That is 0 decimal place. 0 decimal place. Yes, now 0 decimal place. To round up, this to how many number of digits? Let's say to 1 digit up 129.0, because this 9 has become when 5 comes there, it becomes 0, and this one becomes 9. So that's why we have 9. So that's what round can do for us. But to round up really the real figure into either by 10, 20, use either the ceiling or floor. We want to round down this one to the nearest 10. To the nearest 10, I'm going to give you what? 510. So this is how to arrive at from pricing. When you have added your cost or whatever, you use the round up to do that. So also, another thing that we also interact with, like on daily basis, is when we have convert. Sometimes we work with some things that are not. For example, let's say you have something that comes in kilogram, but you are going to sell it in like grams. How do we calculate the cost per one? You get it now. So that's where the issue of okay, I think I've tackled this rounding up already now. The round up, that is the apportion. Sorry, the ceiling and the floor. Okay, so let me insert one column here. There's a function called convert in Excel. We also have it in Google Sheets. Convert in Excel. Now, I want to convert 357 from centimeter to meter. Sometimes it can come from meter to inches, from whatever. So instead of cracking your head, how many centimeter make 1 millimeter? How many millimeter make 1 centimeter? How many liters make one? See all those that poem that is a poem that we memorize there. Instead of try to think, just use a function called convert. What are you converting? You are converting number. This is a number, comma. From what? From which unit are we converting now? From centimeter. Look for centimeter. Look for centimeter. You don't have it. It's there. You have just put double quote centimeter cm in small letter. Don't forget. It's small letter and double quote again. So it's already there. Then you are converting from centimeter, comma, to what? To meter. So if you see it, you click on it. Like in this one, meter is there, very close by. Click on it. So it has put M in double quote and close the bracket. Enter. So this is 3.57 meters. So this is easy to convert. When you want to convert something from one measurement whatsoever to another one, you use convert. So let's do another one. Let's do from inches to meter. Or from meter to inches, that would be too much. Let's do from inches to meter. Equals to convert the number, this, comma, from what? From inches. You have inches there. If you go down, we're going to see inches. We have inch here. So inch in double quote, comma, to what? To meter. You have meter here. Then you close the bracket. So we know that the 1965 inches will give us what? 49.91 meters. So, which means that if you have a job that has to do with conversion, quickly convert it using your Excel tools. The same thing applicable to Google Sheets. We have ceiling function there. We have convert function there. let's open the Google Sheet and see that. Let me share Google Sheet.